So what does it even mean to hot rod a snare drum?
So today we're here with my Tama S.L.P, which stands for Sound Lab Project. A few years ago they put out this big black steel, that's what it's called. It's 8 inches deep and it's 14 inches in diameter. What makes this snare drum awesome is it's a really strong 1mm hardened steel. So it's a really loud snare drum for only being 1mm.
But we're here to hot rod.
Most snare drums, pretty much every brand across the market, really just throw a tension rod in with your throw-off side. Tama, on the other hand, many years ago took a tension rod setup and built it into the butt plate system. So with the big black steel, it comes with a standard butt plate, but I wanted that parallel system. There was a butt plate available that would fit the specs. Sure enough, that plate is actually what you see here. The more I control the way the hoop responds, the more I control the way the shell responds. So die-cast was a decision made for sound control, but also for integrity. If I'm going to be slamming into this hoop, the die-cast is going to be more resilient. So I did an experiment on my S.L.P Bubinga between the Evans ST, which stands for Super Tough, and the Evans UV2. As you could see me slamming into this drum as hard as possible. The penetration level on the ST was deeper than on the UV. And actually they were less dense on the UV2 as well. So the experiment proved that the UV2 was absolutely a more resilient head, and sonically it is definitely more focused, and it is a better sounding head overall for the shell. Standard setup for any snare drum generally is going to be an Evans 300. By hot rodding it with die-cast hoops, coming into it with a pretty slamming hit, being 8 inches deep, the 300 weight just couldn't take the amount of air pressure and it sounded thin. The body of the drum wasn't able to vibrate because the bottom head wasn't able to take that pressure and push it back up in a way that allowed the shell to vibrate more robustly. So naturally, my first decision was, okay, that's too thin. Let's see what a 500 will do. You know, as good as the carbon steel from Tama is,
We're here to hot rod.
when Pure Sound snare wires came out, the big boast was their integrity. At the time, the particular one that was being marketed towards like metal drummers was called the Blaster. The integrity of it is amazing. It blew my mind because I went from breaking, on average, 1 to 3 snare wires per show to now going weeks on end without even breaking a snare wire. That's a lot of money saved. Well, now that we've discussed all these components of how we're gonna hot rod this drum, let's hot rod it and then smack it a couple of times. So yeah, we just got kick mic here, this jam up here, which basically goes right over the drums just as an overhead. This drum smashes. I had a Ludwig Black Beauty back in the mid-90s. That drum was amazing and it had a sound that I didn't think would be replaceable, but this big black steel is sick.